Lay this down before they destroy us! Yeah, I got you!
Wow! Ghost Recon Breakpoint. You may have changed my mind. You may have completely done a 360 and made me think all is forgiven. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the channel. My name's Box of Demons, and on screen we have the retail launch version of Tom Clancy's Breakpoint. Yes, I was lucky enough to be invited by Ubisoft into the Delta Company. So I was given this game for me to play, to review, to cover. And even though I was given this game, as you know, as I mentioned in my previous beta review, if there's anything I don't like, I will tell you. I'm under no obligation whatsoever to tell you that everything is rosy and shiny and brilliant. If it's not good, well then I will tell you. So here we are on screen. This is the retail version, and what I wanted to do in this video today is have a little look around here. We're going to go up towards where the actual social hub is, but we're not going to go into the social hub. We're going to go up there and find the helicopter and go for a little fly and see if we can find anything that's of interest out there. Who knows what's out there, ladies and gentlemen, but we shall find out together. Now, as you may be aware, in my last beta review, I was kind of, shall we say, a little bit, and for justice for all, a little bit on the negative side. There was quite a few issues I felt this game had: an overcomplicated menu system, the vehicles felt floaty, and the AI really were not up to scratch for me personally when I was playing on advanced or the hardcore levels. I wanted it to be a really challenging experience where stealth really did matter, and when I got into the thick of it, I wanted the enemy to be able to overwhelm me and kill me quite easily, making those adrenaline rush moments really exist in the title. So let's grab ourselves a vehicle here. You will notice on screen I've got the crosshair and the map on. These are purely on while I get back into the flow of the game. Remember all the controls and everything else that, and as we get further into this video, I will be turning them off, as that's how I prefer to play. But I've left them on screen just to remind me about some of the buttons and the controls and things like that. So here is the Weeble Wobble Bus. Oh dear. Well, as you'll see later on, one of the vehicles actually feels a little bit more grounded in reality. But this particular vehicle does feel a little bit bouncy, shall we say. So it may be that specific vehicles are more grounded than others, but certainly this one doesn't really feel a huge amount of difference when it comes to the open beta. So what I'm actually going to do now is this mission on screen is one of the day one missions that come once you've actually got the title, and it's way above my pay grade. The levels for this are quite high, but I decided, you know what, let's just come in and have a look and see whether it's actually achievable to be able to come in as a complete noob and actually do any of the missions. So let's get ourselves down here and have a look at this little village. But one of the things I've noticed straight away, the graphics are absolutely beautiful. I think these are friendlies. Again, once I actually get my boots on the ground properly with this title and get my head around it all again, we'll be turning off literally everything. However, when you do this, sometimes when you come to a location like this and there's a certain person that you have to speak to or a certain piece of intel, it can be quite difficult trying to find that specific person or the piece of intel. Whether you want that challenge is completely up to you.
Are you Chief?
Who wants to know?
Name's Nomad. A couple of your friends said you were looking to investigate all of the drone activity around the mountain.
Sure am. I'm fed up and I can't stand it no more. The drones came in slowly at first, but now there are flocks of them. I can't have my friends being put in danger like that. Heaven forbid they get killed or whatever.
So, you were putting together a posse to investigate.
I was going to, but it looks like you're far better equipped to deal with drones than I am. Hell, you might even be able to figure out what the deal is with that infernal siren sound.
I suppose I could take a look. Anything else I should know before I go?
Yeah, I ain't the first one who thought about heading up there. A few homesteaders have already wandered off that way. If you see them, just make sure they're safe and such.
Sure. Now just point me in the direction of that mountain.
Oh, sure thing. It's just west of here. Basically, keep going until you see Fortune Lake cascading down into the valley.
Got it. Thank you.
Not the world's greatest actors. Let's admit there wasn't much dynamism in there, was there? If I can get say it, dynamism. You know what I mean. Sounds like Brad Pitt, the main character. So let's open this up and let's hopefully we'll get a weapon because all we've got is a pistol. Oh, hell yeah! Give me the Daniel Stoner. We'll be putting that on straight away. That's a beast of a weapon. In fact, let's just have a quick look in the Gunsmith at this and we'll colour it up. Isn't that beautiful? I'm not going to deny that Ubisoft don't know how to model the weapons. Absolutely beautiful. And I think we'll give it a basic green. Where's basic green? We'll go for basic olive green. I'm not going to go through all the customization, as we already know, all that kind of stuff's in there, but that's not bad for the first weapon, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get back up the mountain, back up to where the helicopter was. As I mentioned at the beginning, this is way above my pay grade, this level. So I think it said 150. So the chances are we're either going to get absolutely mullered or we're going to be a tactical bastard. We're going to use all our box of demons, skull and bones, paraplays, all our strategic, tactical gameplay over all these years, and we're going to smash some heads. Get some 5.56, 7.62 in top lit. Let's get the job done. Let's get in the helo, and let's bug out. But honestly, guys, the game is running absolutely silky smooth. I have not got any frame rate issues whatsoever, and I'm running this on Ultra 4K ultra wide. Admittedly, the cutscenes are not full screen for me, which is a bit of a shame. And we haven't got to go far here, so let's see what the situation is here. And I can see Drone-tastic all over the entrance to that. So I get a feeling this is going to go Peak Tong very, very quickly. Let's just sneak up here, have a look, see what the situation is. And no doubt we'll get our ass dealt to us. Oops, I've just lost my helicopter. Fool. Let's go. I don't know if you actually noticed there, but when picking up the herbs and the plants, that animation has been changed from the actual open beta where it used to do sort of like a over to the side. That's improved, definitely, and the running animation up hills and down hills definitely feels like it's improved. This is going to end badly, I can feel it already. Bug out, bug out, bug out. We gotta get out of here. We're not gonna do this. Holy shit. See, I told you. What the hell? It's respawned me back in the tunnel. Oh, I tell you what, the lighting effects in here is beautiful. Wow, 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 wow. It looks really good in here. Look at that. Oh, these graphics are nice, lads. This is better than Wildlands. Definitely. Really soft ambient HDR. The breath. Yeah, whoa, 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 I'm hearing voice. But at least it's good to know that there will be a challenge there. If you come into certain areas where you're not of rank, they're going to absolutely kick your ass. So the challenge is there if you want it. And the AI actually seems quite responsive, with sometimes they seem to like run towards you and engage you, whereas in the beta I don't think that the AI was very impressive. It was a little bit lackluster. They seem to miss you all the time, and they just used to just stand out in the open. So I'm wondering whether Ubisoft have actually upgraded the AI at this time. And no, I'm not saying that because I know, I genuinely don't know. It just feels like they've increased it. So let's get ourselves outside into one of the environments here and just have a look and a little run around. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it looks absolutely beautiful. I don't know if many of you remember the Wildlands beta when that first came out. In fact, to be honest, when it first launched from retail for me, I had a few problems recording that title. The frame rate was all over the place. And back then I didn't have a 4K monitor, it was a 1440p, I think it was, a Gysnc monitor. But here we are, running at full resolution. I've got this actually at scaling at 100, it will actually go higher, but I wanted to make sure that it was just silky smooth here. And the weather effects and everything else. Let's just have a look at the canteen, have a drink and see if we can fill it up in the river here. Nice little animation there, if you noticed. He rested the actual rifle on his knee when he was drinking from the canister. Unfortunately, it's not going to let me fill it up from this stream or river, which is kind of strange. I'm wondering whether that we have to get further into the title in order to be able to have that functionality open up. Because we have seen videos, if you remember, in the open beta of people drinking swimming pool water and things like that. So there's no reason why out here, in the middle of nowhere, we shouldn't be able to drink that river water. And just to put a little bit of advertising in for myself here, I do have the Boots on the Ground UK Hiking Adventure channel, and I'll put the link in the description box underneath, where I actually do drink some river water. That's on the Grassington video. So if you're interested in following me and supporting that channel as well, the details are below. Anyway, let's crack on. I do think a lot of the animations have been updated since the open beta. The actual running around doesn't look as strange, and the animations for running up and down hill seem to feel and look a lot more realistic and a lot more responsive. So I think the controls have been tightened up, and my initial worry on everybody in the community wanting to speed everything up and making it arcade doesn't feel like it's like that. I don't know whether they are going to be updating it and changing that at a further point, but it actually feels quite solid. No floatiness, barring the odd little thing when you're trying to get into a vehicle, but that's all part of Ghost Recon. I've always wanted this title to be a little bit slower and a little bit more tactical. And dare I say it, whether there is a placebo effect or whether it's because the title is new and fresh and exciting, it certainly feels slightly slower than the beta, and definitely a little bit more slower than Wildlands. It feels quite responsive. I'm quite impressed.
I'm gonna take him out. Shit, I know they're here somewhere. These shits are out here somewhere. I'm gonna take him out.
Shit! Enemy contact!
Hey, be alert. Enemy troops might...
Eyes on hostiles! I hit him!
Good, 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 good. I don't want it to be easy, and that's with the actual radar on and showing where the enemies are, which I will be completely turning that off, and I'll show you a little bit of footage of that as we get in. But here's a vehicle. Can we damage it? How difficult is it to turn over? Well, you be the judge as I drive down the hill here, through the valley, as I wreck this beautiful vehicle. You make your own decision up. As we get to the bottom, we'll get into a little bit of action. So there you have it, almost impossible to overturn a vehicle. But do you know what? For all its criticisms, this game never was about the vehicles, or it certainly wasn't for me and my friends. It was always about boots on the ground, positioning yourself when you were taking a compound. And yes, Wildlands for me, as I've mentioned many, many times, it was just the repetitiveness of the actual missions. And I was initially worried about that, and I haven't done enough missions on this retail version in order to give you that guarantee that the missions are more exciting. One of the things that also worried me considerably when coming into this title was because the actual map was smaller than Wildlands, would the environments be interesting enough to keep your interest up? Well, I've only been in a couple of areas here, and this is not even the video where I went everywhere. And do you know what? I actually think this is actually quite diverse and interesting and a little bit more realistic. Now on screen you can see call in reinforcements. In the beta they would just appear out of nowhere, so this is going to be a little challenge to see whether they'll actually hunt me down, whether they'll track me down, chase me, and whether they'll actually start to use tactics against me. So as you can see, I'm going to get off this bike because I'm going to kill myself. So you can see the car on the minimap up there. I've got the hornet's nest. I've poked it with a stick. Let's just see if they come at me, and let's see if we can deal with it. Seems I've actually evaded the enemy. Or have I? Because no, they actually followed me up. They were actually still looking for me, so I was quite impressed with that. And this little clip here is going to show you a little bit of combat. I'm going to have to turn all the HUD off just to get myself more immersed at some point, because this is just cheating. Definitely feel like the AI has been improved. Occasionally the enemies will actually run at you while another one is firing. Now that's clever maneuver and tactics. Whether it was just a complete fluke, who knows? But as you can see here, there's only a couple of guys up there, and even though they are marked, I'm about to get my ass handed to me.
Taking out our team! Finish them! Before they destroy us! Yeah, I got you, bitch!
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the retail version of Breakpoint. I actually really enjoyed it. Now, is this because this is the full version and not the beta, and I can go anywhere and get more involved in it? And again, is this a placebo effect? It feels extremely polished now, and I'm not saying that again. As I mentioned, I'm going to keep saying this. Ubisoft will not force me to say whether something is good or bad. I've already got the title, so I've got no incentive to want to be able to, you know, buff their ass, as it were, with talcum powder. It feels very polished, and if the AI experience that I've had in the first 20 minutes to half an hour is anything to go by, then yes, they have listened and the AI seems much more intelligent. The animations feel as though they have been updated. The running animation certainly feels different. The controls feel nice and tight. However, I still feel that the vehicles are floaty and bouncy, and they just need some work doing on them to make them feel heavy and a little bit more realistic based. I'd also like the vehicles, if possible, to be first-person view, and the ability to be able to drive at speed. So right when you get in, rather than from 0 to full speed straight away, you know, let's be able to accelerate the vehicle. I know it's a little bit hard on a mouse and keyboard, but you get the point. Even if we had a gear system where you could set it to cruise at a certain speed, would make certain missions a lot easier. Well, there you go. The graphics are beautiful. The audio environments, I've got absolutely no complaints whatsoever. But at the end of the day, you need to make your mind up on whether you want this title. Don't let anybody else persuade you. Really, honestly, if you enjoyed the beta, you'll absolutely love the retail version. But if you're on the fence, then really, I think you might like it now when you come back in. It feels like things have been updated. And Ubisoft are certainly not going to let this title be a sinking ship. We've already got the season year 1, 2 and 3 already announced, and some DLC coming, and there are going to be missions and things updated every week and every day if you log in. So that's my thoughts on the retail version. Let me know in the comments box below what you think. Are you still going to be getting this title? Do you think anything has improved? Are you excited? And what would you like me to look at, if anything, before you get your greasy mitts and boots on the ground? Anyway, I've been Box of Demons. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing and the support. And if you want to, as I mentioned, get Boots on the Ground UK, head over there and you can support me on that channel as well. Thanks a lot. I shall see you, no doubt, in the future. Bye-bye.